Hi guys, I took you through part one of my story from living in a Mudhut house to where I make a decision to go to relocate to coast region. So part two of my story starts from where I booked a bus all the way from northwest of part of Kenya, which is Eldoret, to coastal region. And it does not end there. I have to travel all the way again to south coast, which is Kwale County. So our journey started around 3 p.m. Kenya time from Eldoret. And that day I had to drive in alone with my son because I had to leave my daughter behind. Remember, she was still doing her end-term exams before she traveled. So she couldn't make to travel with me. I left her with my friend. So I traveled all alone with my son with 3 suitcases. One belongs to me, one for my daughter, one for my son. So the journey started from Eldoret to Mombasa. The miles from Eldoret to coastal region is really a lot. It takes a bus like how many hours? Like 15 to 18 hours travel all night. You can reach tomorrow morning. Secondly, it depends on the bus that you are booking. You can be lucky to get a new bus, or you can get a old one that can just track the way, take some hours, even 20 hours. So I was lucky to book a nice bus because it wasn't something that I know the coastal region well. So I wanted a better thing, like a better car to travel with my son. It's not easy thing, I'm telling you. Having your own son and only me and my son and my 3 suitcases, it was hard. It was really hard. The bus itself, there is it's like it's squeezed, like the hair inside, not really. We're full of people, so it's not fresh. So I'm walking and with my son, like inside the bus, you don't know anyone. It was not hard, but I was thinking, I knew my life's going to change. I feel like I'm going to change my life. It's another point of life for me. So we traveled all the way from that place to coast. And I remember my husband, like, how could you drive it? How can a one driver drive a bus from Eldoret to Mombasa? It's not one driver. There are 2 of them. They have to alternate. So one has to pick it from Eldoret to Nairobi, stops, and then another one takes from Nairobi to Mombasa. And all the way around, like when we are just having this journey, this bus doesn't go so straight. We have to have lunch somewhere, like dinner in Nakuru. So we need to have to go to have something in dinner. So we stopped in Nakuru, we stopped in Nairobi, and then there's another town before Mombasa. And it's really tiresome. Those miles really tiresome. And you are going to a town that you don't know many people. You don't know many people. I don't know. I knew only one girl in the coast. I don't know many people. So I was figuring out how will my life look like in Mombasa or Diani, because I don't know. But I was having that, like I was having the hopes that I'm going to make it in Mombasa. So the journey now, we came all the way from Eldoret. Now we are in Mombasa now. So we arrived around 6 in the morning, and I don't know, like I'm going to use tuk-tuk or which means of transport to arrive in Diani, because again you have to take another 1 hour to cross the ferry, like from Mombasa, which is county 001, to county 002, which is Kwale County. I have to travel another hour, and I'm really tired with 3 suitcases. So I had saved some little amount of money in my phone, so I could use meantime with my son, because it's only 2 of us. So I had to speak to the office there now, in the bus office station, to them, so that they can just give me an hint how I can get to Diani. So I took a taxi from Mombasa town to Diani, and I think it was costing around 4,500. So we went with my son to the taxi, and then we came all the way from Mombasa again now to Diani. It took us, I think, 1 hour. Now I'm going to apartment that I came earlier. Before now, I came with my son to relocate it. I came before alone to look for an apartment in Diani. So I managed to go to one bedroom house. It was 15,000. So I paid the money, which is 2 months deposit, and 1 month rent, which is 45,000 in total. So I paid the apartment before I relocated. So now when we came, now I'm high, my son and the taxi driver. Now we came to the apartment now, and then it was locked because the keys was in the office. So I had to pay the taxi, release the taxi man to go back to Mombasa, and then I had to go with my son to pick the keys now in the office to come and open out the house. So I went to my son. I left the suitcases downstairs because the house was like it was like flat, so it was flat. So I left the suitcase down, and then I went to pick the key with my son. This flat, I don't know anyone, so I could not say anyone can just say, okay, look after my suitcase now. I trust everything now in my life because the trust is what I want now. So we went, and then we came back. We opened the house. Shockingly enough, there's no electricity in this house now. And it wasn't a token meter that now currently we are using. It's a manual one. You have to pay the Kenya Power people to you get the power back. So I have to go back again or phone someone in the office to come and connect for us power. I have to pay for electricity in the apartment that I'm getting in. And they told me the meter, but I couldn't know how to do it. So they came and I paid them in M-Pesa, and then they paid for me, and then we got the electricity. So that was around 11 in the morning. So now another problem is getting food. I don't know any hotel in Diani. So I had to go work again with my son. I left the suitcases inside the apartment. We closed the house. We went to walk towards the gate. We asked the gate man because I don't know anyone, so I have to ask the gate man where I can find food for my son. It's almost lunch. He's starving. We had not even breakfast. We didn't have breakfast because which time would I even have in Mombasa to have breakfast? And we are heading to Diani. Everywhere is just a known place for me. I don't know anyone. I don't know people there. I don't know any hotel, anything. So we didn't have breakfast with my son. So now I'm looking for, but he had some milk. I had some milk in my pocket. So he took some milk. So I walked out, asked the watch gate guy, like, I need to go to a restaurant to find food. And then I was directed to a nearby a restaurant which is not far from where we are going to live. So I walked away again towards the restaurant. Then I go and buy food for my son. And because the money wasn't really huge in my M-Pesa, I'm trying to squeeze everything to be enough. So I could just buy something which can feed my son. I can eat the leftovers from him. So I bought some rice and some stew. Then we come back. Because I have nothing in this apartment. It's only my clothes that we have. So nothing like utensils, like there's nothing. It's only me, my son, and the suitcases. So I went to buy food for him, and then we came back. Then we had lunch. It's a disposal plates anyway, so I disposed that one. Then again, we slept. I took something like a bed sheet that we had inside our clothes, and then we slept down the floor. Because we were tired. We relaxed at around 3, and then we woke up. And then I showered my son. I showered myself. Then again, we're going back to the same restaurant to buy some dinner, early dinner. So we went again to buy some dinner with my son, the same restaurant. Remember, it's around 2.5 years now. And then we came back home, and then we carry on with our dinner, sitting down the floor, sleeping on the floor. Everything was just on the floor. Yeah. Then the company that I was working for gave me some 2 weeks to settle down in the new environment, settle down with my son, find someone to take care of my son. But at that time, I was still waiting for my daughter and a girl from my community to come and take care of my kids, because the office that I'm working for, they're in Mombasa town. So I have to wake up every morning and I'll go across the ferry and then go to work in Mombasa. That's like 1 hour from Diani, or 1.5 or 2 hours. It depends how the car you are taking in. So I stayed for 2 weeks, and then because the company wanted me to go and work now in that 2 weeks, because it was November, it was late November, so then it was after like mid of December they need me in the office. So by that time my daughter has finished the exam, so they're here with the girl that I wanted her to come and take care of them. So I started the job after 2 weeks in Mombasa. I'm waking up in the morning around 6. Then I go to Mombasa by 8. I have to be in the office. So I worked there for 3 months, going to and fro, using transport every day. That's like, it was 100 or 200 shilling. Then another money from ferry to Mombasa, like it was 50 shillings. So after 3 months now working in Diani, I was given now a promotion to work in another county, which is Kilifi County. Yeah. So, and I was given a straight away choice, like, you are going to be promoted to head Kilifi County. This is in Malindi now. And that's after 3 months working in Malindi. And second, I don't know Malindi. I don't know. I've never gone to Malindi. I've never gone there. So I was told by my manager that you either take the opportunity of going to Malindi, or you forget about the job. So as being a woman, like I'm just all alone in everything, I told her I'm going. She was a woman. I told her I'm going back to my house, and then I will give you feedback, because I'm now thinking of, we're only 3 months now in Diani. I need to go again, relocate to Malindi. Yeah. So, and my daughter is new in the school now, 3 months only in the school. Like, she's new in the school. Not she'll work like 2 months in the school. So she's new now in the school. That was in February. And I need to work in Malindi, which is Kilifi County, go and add that Kilifi County. So I came, and then I spoke, the girl was staying with my kids, and I said, it's not possible for me to relocate again to Malindi, because first, we are not even settled in this house we are. There's nothing. There's no like seats, there's no bed. It's only a few utensils, a pot, and a small cooker that we can just use. So I'm starting life fresh, starting everything from zero. So there's no way I can relocate again to Kilifi County. I don't have that money. So I told this guy, you have to stay with my kids. I have to go to work in Kilifi. That was another again hard decision that I have to accept, to go to Malindi. Leave the kids now again in South Coast, which is in Kwale. And this girl, because she's from my community, she said, okay, you can go work there. And then now I will be coming like after every 2 weeks to see you guys, to visit you. So I left my daughter, and now I went back telling my manager, it's okay, I will go to Kilifi. I'll go to Kilifi. And I was settled like that. It was on Monday that I was told, next week on Wednesday, you have to go start working in Kilifi. So I went back, and that's what I told her, it's okay, I'm going to take the opportunity. I'm going, because now I knew the salary again is going to be increased a little bit, not the way it was. So I made an agreement with the girl which is in my house, and then with my manager, and then I went to Malindi, and I left my kids behind. So now I started another job. No, it's not a job, the same job now, but another town again working. So I went there. I was given another 2 weeks to look for a place to stay again in Kilifi. Remember these towns, I don't know anyone. Now the worst thing is now, even in Kilifi, I've never stayed there. So I went there, looked for a small, cheaper hotel that I could just pay a few shillings end of the week. So I got a cheap hotel I can afford. And so I started working in Kilifi, having my food like takeaways, no more. After every 2 weeks, on Friday, I travel back to Kunda to see my kids, because my daughter is in new school. My son stays home because he was still young. He was staying with the house girl. So I could see my kids like 4 times in a month. It's not really easy thing. It's really bad, but it's okay with me, because I'm getting money to upgrade my life, and I'm happy where I am, because the past is gone, so I was happy having only me and my kids, and it was easy for me to manage now. So I worked there for some, like around 5 months. Then I was promoted again, but not to another, but the job now, like I did a very nice work, because when I do something, I do it from my heart. So the company was really, really happy that I've done very well. And I was promoted in the same town, which is Malindi. And then now I was given some amount that it was not bad for me to raise my 2 kids in Ukunda. So that was in the year 2020, yeah, 2020 to 2021. So I was promoted in Malindi. So I stayed there, coming seeing my kids, and then it reached that time that I was told, okay, because now you promoted, you can go back and stay with your kids, but now you will be going around, like almost ghost return, because I was doing sales. So I was told you can relocate, go back to your kids, and you will be having a car to travel around doing the sales thing. So I was happy that I could come back to my kids. So I worked for 2019, 2020, 2021 now, towards the end of 2021. My son was like, he was getting sick most of the time. So when I was I was working in the field, I could just get a phone from this house, like, oh, your son is coughing so much, he's ill, he's not feeling well. So it was frustrating me more. So I said, okay, now it's time for me, because even the company has given me the chance to just stay where I can't, so I can just quit and go back to Diani. That's now after they promoted me in Malindi, yeah. And by that time, I after the 2 weeks actually, I met a girl from my community who was she was a banker. I was surprised that we met along the way when I was just doing my thing, and she was just passing by, and then going home, and then she spotted me and she said, "Oh, Mario, that's you." I said, "Oh, it's you. You are here, yeah." And then like, "Oh, are you in Malindi?" Yeah, I'm working here. So actually, she took me in even before I got before I finished the 2 weeks that I was given by the company to go and look for a place to stay. So I stayed with this girl now for almost like 2 years with her before again I went back to my kids in the end, when I was given the brief leave at the company that I can stay anywhere I want. So I was lucky that I got a girl from my community, a girl from home, that she took me in her house. So I was staying with her family in Malindi before now I was given the chance to stay where I want. And I was so happy that I'm going back to my kids in Ukunda. So I came back and stayed with my kids, and I was just working all over Coast region, actually, like everywhere in Coast. So I was doing marketing. And in now the end now of towards 2021 now, that's why I stopped. Say, okay, because I had 2 business that I was already running, because when I was promoted, I had to open some small business that can just like a side hustle for me. So I stopped working, because it was this thing of my son being sick most of the time, and the pressure that I was having in the field of my clients from the company thing, the targeting, like they need a target like at the end of the month. So it was like too much pressure for me. And I say, these 2 businesses I've started, I can just try to just make it work better, because the first business with the salon was brilliant. Now it's just working well, because I had someone who is was managing it for me correctly. So it was giving me not bad revenue that I can sustain us in the house. So the second one was a restaurant now, which was another business for me. So I said I can just stop working and come and manage these 2 businesses. I need to be with my kids, because all this pressure from from the kids, from to work and my clients was too much for me. So I say I can just stop it and do my business. And in the process of just stopping it and working in my 2 businesses, that's where I met my husband now. Now he was in Diani, and I just like stopped working and running my business now. We just popped, he come to my restaurant to want to like a customer, and that's when we met, and the journey of like being in love together started from there. Now we have 4 kids together. here in Diani. And that's the end of my part 2 story. So we'll continue giving you some updates from Diani, adventures and things about our family. So subscribe to our channel, you guys, and be tuned. Bye.